Finding Frankie is a stylish game with a great premise, very polished presentation, some unique environments, excellent character designs, and the base of what could be really compelling, fun parkour gameplay. But you absolutely should not buy it. Not for $15 or even the current discounted $13.50. The game is overpriced. Furthermore, Finding Frankie never really gets off the ground. The entire thing feels like the tutorial for a full game that never actually starts, and right when it seems to be picking up momentum, it ends. It's a bummer because I was really excited for this game. It's dark, excessively bloody and violent, and I appreciate that the developers have done something more ambitious than the typical walking simulator mascot horror trash, but unfortunately, in my opinion, Finding Frankie is a big disappointment. There are pieces of a really good game here, but the overall experience is somehow less than the sum of its parts. Finding Frankie is like playing Fall Guys by yourself, which would be fine if there's a monster chasing you most of the time, but there isn't. 90% of the game is just timed switch puzzles. The game's premise is pretty neat. A mysterious production company sends out 4 cereal boxes around the world, each containing a Willy Wonka-esque ticket. However, instead of a tour of a chocolate factory, the lucky children who get their hands on these boxes are eligible to become contestants on Finding Frankie, a parkour obstacle course death game in which players are pursued and brutally murdered by what appear to be robotic mascots, with any winning contestants receiving millions of dollars in prize money. All the while, though, the games are being broadcast on a private live stream online, with the production company taking massive bets on which contestant will survive. Basically, it's Squid Game. As Finding Frankie begins, we find ourselves in the shoes of one of the show's young contestants, and upon suiting up, we emerge at the starting line alongside our rivals, and as the games begin, we're introduced to Frankie. Oh, are we going? Are we going? Oh! Okay. Well guys, we found Frankie. I guess that's it. Thanks for watching. Frankie is a scary bunny. I don't know, he's cool. The first thing you'll notice is that Finding Frankie is a pretty good looking game. The opening sequence has this nice lighting and volumetric effects, and Frankie's animation is cool. Oh! Upon being the only contestant to escape the first room, we proceed to the tutorial area, where we're introduced to the game's mechanics, which are trampolines, bars you can swing from, doors that you walk through, and rails that you grind down. Upon entering the game's hub area, for lack of a better term, you'll immediately notice that it looks familiar. It's the Pizzaplex from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, but with Poppy-style drawings everywhere. Again, it's a decent-looking game, but not as good-looking as Security Breach. It's here that we're introduced to the game's first and kind of only mechanic, pressing buttons. Don't show me a breaker that I can see if I don't need it, bro. Come on. In the next room, the game teaches us that falling from the course will result in Frankie attacking us, and that when this happens, we need to hide, but in actuality, this mechanic is barely used. I honestly forgot all about it until now, as I'm reviewing my footage and writing this script. Huh? Okay, so we don't want to stand on that. Cool. Well, fuck you, Frankie. You know what? I'm out of here. It's fine. It's fine. Get your ass out of here, Frankie. That's what I thought. The next room is pretty nice looking, but yet again, the goal is to just press some buttons within a time limit. But okay, the game just started. This is all surely just tutorial, right? Surely the next room will be more interesting. Oh, you just hit 3 more buttons. There isn't even any fun parkour this time. Bro. I guess we missed one? Yo, what up, dude? Yeah, not yet, dude. Don't kill me yet. As we climb this ladder to press yet another button, Frankie appears, and it seems as though he's about to kill us when someone over the radio tells him, "Not yet," and the bunny retreats. Apparently, though, him killing us a few moments later is totally fine. Oh! Jump! Bro! Oh, we missed one. At this point, I was enjoying myself. Yo, Banjo-Kazooie right here. Banjo-Kazooie, Rusty Bucket Bay. Bro! Bro! Oh! Dude. The chase sequence was really cool, and I was excited to see how things would escalate and build from here. Unfortunately, in the next room, our goal is, yet again, to press 3 buttons within a time limit. Don't get me wrong, get from point A to point B parkour gameplay can be fun. One of my favorite games is Neon White, which is all about linear first-person platforming, and it's amazing. Also, fun fact, it was made by the same dude who made Tattletale. However, finding Frankie's rooms aren't linear, and thus the routes for pressing all the buttons aren't satisfying. In some cases, activating them in what is presumably the unintended order ends up completely trivializing the challenge. Yeah, doing these backwards, what I assume is backwards from the intended, is a little bit easier. The next section is this big yellow duck-themed area, and it's fine. Just some more basic platforming. Tell me there ain't no secrets? Come on, dude. As the leader of the FNAF, Indigo Park, Amanda the Adventurer, and Super Mario communities, I'm expecting more secrets here. Bro, you cannot do that. No. Oh, God. Bro is spitting balls. Bro, get those balls out your mouth, dude. Come on. However, near the end, there are some clouds that it looks like you can jump to. Okay, do we go there or do we do this obvious secret? Obvious secret, right, guys? And then lose it all and die? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you could definitely reach that cloud, but then like, yeah. All right, whatever. We'll go here for now. Ah! I wasn't scared, by the way. Wasn't scared. Bro, that's such a secret. These clouds that you can obviously stand on. It's such a secret, dude. It's such a secret, guys. I gotta try this. I'm sorry, guys. The completionist in me... I don't think it's possible. The completionist in me wants to run a controversial charity, but also wants to try that. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, Frankie, step on me. Anyway, I wasn't scared when that Frankie climbed by. Just FYI, I was, there was a spider in the room. That's what it was. In the next room, we meet Deputy Duck. I guess. Deputy Duck's police station. No! After making out with Deputy Duck, we bring them along with us, which gives us access to 2 abilities, a radar that highlights nearby objects, and a flash that is...
And what's flash? All right.
I'm not sure what it's for. I don't think I ever needed it for anything. With Deputy Duck in hand, we move on to the next area to confront Henry Hotline.
He's ringing this phone. I'm sick of it. The ringing, it won't stop. It never stops. You did this to me. It hurts. It never stops.
Henry Hotline is a phone person, and his design, animation, and voice acting are great. His segment is also without a doubt the scariest in the entire game.
What are we doing in Meow Wolf? Oh, flash. We can flash him, I bet. That's how I deal with strangers in real life. I flash him. Listen. Oh, shit. Oh! Oh!
We need to activate 6 telephones scattered throughout the area, which is made easier by Deputy Duck's radar ability. However, Henry Hotline stalks us through the halls, and he's drawn to the sound of the telephones whenever we use them.
He gets the jump on you, bro.
This segment is simple, but it's very effective. When Henry chases you, it's intense, and you really do feel like you're running for your life.
No!
It's easily the best and most memorable part of the game, and yet it doesn't use any of the parkour mechanics, instead falling back to the same mascot horror tropes we've been seeing since Slender. Find the things while avoiding the monster.
Safe room.
I was really hoping we'd have sections like this, but inside parkour courses that let us evade the enemies. I know it's really hard to design a segment like that, but when the most memorable section of Finding Frankie doesn't even use the parkour, it's hard to argue that those mechanics are anything more than a gimmick. Unfortunately, upon completing this area, we trigger Henry Hotline's chase sequence, and it sucks.
Meh chase, I gotta be honest.
The first chase with Frankie was much better. In this one, you just hold forward and jump a few times. The game never puts Henry in front of you, and since you're never gonna look back when you're running, you never see him. Maybe he has amazing scary animations while he's chasing you. I have no idea. I didn't see him. After escaping, Frankie shows up and kills Henry, presumably for failing to capture us, but the spatial audio's attunement was way off, and I was just slightly too far away to hear it.
Wait. Frankie killed Henry Hotline because he failed to capture us. Meh, Chase. So, Poppy Playtime does this generally pretty well. Even in the underwhelming Dog Day chase in Chapter 3, there was no reason to look behind you, to look at the thing chasing you. Like, you knew he's chasing you, but like, a good chase sequence puts the monster in front of you a lot, you know? Which they did before. They did the Poppy Playtime move where you're running one way and they come in front of you and you're gonna turn back and go a different way. Like, that's a good move, but like, yeah. That was a little disappointing.
Next is Frankie's Crash Course, which is gameplay, I guess. I don't know. It's better than Ban's gameplay, but like, yeah, it's this.
Oh, I see. Cool. Cool!
It's like mobile game level gameplay. I really don't know if the effort that went into programming this room was worth the 1 minute of gameplay it provides, and even that was kind of pushing it. It probably could have been like 30 seconds. Afterwards, we need to jump into the abyss to progress. Why couldn't we just jump down there immediately instead of standing around almost dying for a minute? F you, that's why. This leads to the Utilidors, which is, I don't know, it's an area. It's like underground tunnel things. It's not really clear if the show's producers intended us to be down here or if we've broken out of the game by now or whatever. This is also where the game's scaling takes a nosedive. Suddenly, objects are gigantic.
The first scaling fail. I know, I think we're meant to be kids or teenagers or something, but like, I think most teenagers are taller than a barrel. I just gotta be honest. Maybe it's a big ass barrel, but I ain't never seen a barrel that big. Or a door that big. This whole room is just really big.
It's like when they modeled this area, they made it too small, didn't realize until they tested it, and then just scaled everything up to compensate. Most of the areas in the game are pretty good looking and believable, but this area is bizarre. It just feels like the back rooms. It's wonky. The goal in this area is to grind around these rails and, you guessed it, hit some buttons within a time limit.
Rolling around at the speed of sound. Got places to go, gotta pop. Something's over here.
It's also at this point that the game world is fully open to us and we can return to old areas and explore them, though I'm not sure why you would.
We about to find this motherfucker Frankie. There's gotta be a reason to backtrack though, so.
Unfortunately, the game relies on you paying a lot of attention to the maps and the symbols on the walls and stuff, and it's really easy to get lost.
Bro, how many elevators are there?
I ended up just sort of wandering around for a while until eventually I stumbled into the area that I needed to get to.
No direction. Giant area, no direction. Yo. Dude. You want to make out?
Lucky contestant! What a surprise! Don't worry your mask-covered head. I'm the real Frankie, and totally not a lazily written plot device to add a twist to the story to keep our viewers entertained so we can avoid going bankrupt.
Authorities have discovered 3 dead bodies on the premises of Frankie's Parkour Palace, who seem to be 3 of the 4 unfortunate contestants chosen to participate in the company's last game show before bankruptcy. One contestant seems to still be on the premises and potentially alone.
Well, now that pleasantries have been exchanged, you have a journey to continue. I'll set you on your path. Go towards the last remaining elevators and I'll guide you from there.
These better be the last elevators, Frankie. I swear to God. Anyway, about that making out part.
We meet the real Frankie, who is, I don't even know, man. You heard what he said. Your guess is as good as mine.
Look at these Gardner Band ass chairs. Law! You see this law? So contestant 1, invitation, arrived, terminated by Frankie, plus $100,000. Contestant 3, invitation arrived, alive. Keep alive until very end, terminate at the Hexa. So obviously, the whole thing is scripted, is the idea. This is what this is telling us, keep him alive until this moment. Okay, what do you want me to do? Why are there so many different paths, dude? He's like, go to the final elevator.
After wandering around for another few minutes, we finally figured out that the path forward was to once again jump into this abyss that definitely looks like certain death.
I don't know, dude. That was not obvious, dude.
We emerge in a sewer where we press another button.
What was the point of that? Dude, I hate this. What is this, La Mulana? A door has been opened? Where? There's like 100 doors, dude. You can't... Water park and trampoline park door breaker. Thanks, Frankie. You know, you're not so bad.
As we try to leave, evil Frankie passes over us and real Frankie shows up to protect us. In a surprising twist, the next room has us pressing 4 buttons. However, Frankie's giant hand is hovering around the area, and you have to avoid it, I guess? I don't know, man. It's technically an obstacle, but I'm not sure what happens if you touch it because avoiding it was effortless. After following the signs to the water and trampoline parks, which, by the way, you would only know to do if you happen to stare at this for long enough to read this note while the light is flickering, you can tackle them in either order. So we headed to the trampoline park, which was...
Easy. I could jump through rings. I jump through rings for fun. Dude.
It was a trip.
Catch the noobs. Are we killing them? It's a good thing I'm the greatest gamer who ever lived, because this would be hard. Dude, it's not gonna work. Holy shit. Dude, no, how many fucking times do you want me to do this, dude? Cool. So far, the problem is it's never obvious what you just did.
One of Finding Frankie's biggest problems is that it assumes way too much of the player. It's very easy to not understand what you've earned by completing a challenge, and the game does nothing to prevent you from walking away without first obtaining a critical item. And because the entire game world is accessible to you at this point, you could wander around for ages.
Where am I supposed to go? Having interconnected areas is cool if there's a point to it, but so far it's just wasted my time. See, like, you could just leave without getting that key. Like, if this should be sealed until you get the key so that you know, like, hey, there's still something to do there. Or just give me the freaking key automatically.
The next area is Frankie's Flash Flood Beach, a large parkour area in which we're tasked with, you guessed it, pressing a bunch of buttons within a time limit. You know how in Portal and Portal 2, the chambers are often just, big rooms that you navigate to the end of? The vast majority of Finding Frankie's rooms feel like playing through shitty portal chambers with no portal gun.
Okay, well...
That's the best way I can describe it. They're puzzles, and there's a sequence of steps you need to take to solve them, but they aren't fun or interesting. You never feel smart after completing a Finding Frankie room because there's never really any thinking involved. This would be mitigated if the movement and platforming was great, but it isn't. Like I said before, it feels very gimmicky.
What? That was the worst death ever. Well, what did this do for me? Oh, the key. Don't let me leave this area without that key, dude. I'm serious. Like, there should be a gate here that's like, you can't leave this area until you've gotten the key. If I recall, we want to go to the mountain.
You're our lucky contestant. No one has ever made it this far. Usually only mere seconds. If you're lucky, a minute or two. They play easy, and they pity you. The only reason the ones above decided to keep you around is because you're boosting the ratings. Our viewers are entertained. We aren't going bankrupt, and this isn't our last game show. As soon as you're eliminated, 4 new cereal boxes will be sent out all around the world, sitting and waiting for its lucky contestant, just like I have something to give you as a token of my appreciation for bringing us into the light again. If not for you, higher-ups probably would have instructed Frankie to kill me. I'm not sure if he still works or not.
Can I answer?
Hello?
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Henry? You okay?
With both keys in hand, we head to Frosted Peak, a large indoor mountain obstacle course. Basically, it's the super aggro crag from Global Guts. The room itself is pretty cool and full of the corpses of prior contestants, and we're tasked with climbing the mountain before a rising pool of slime kills us, I guess? I don't know.
What slime? What slime? I don't see no slime, bro. Oh, that's the slime. Okay, I see the slime. I see the slime. I see the slime.
Unfortunately, about halfway up the mountain, you reach these trampolines, and it really looks like the game wants you to leap to this staircase that leads to the CEO's office secret lore room thing, and you can. It's hard, but you can do it, and you just die.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll work if you get off this fucking ledge. Bro. What the fuck?
As I was climbing the mountain, something about the reflections in the ramp seemed off. And then it hit me. They were reversed. Or rather, they weren't mirrored. These reflections make no sense, and they look super weird.
The reflections aren't inverted. The reflection probe is backwards, dude. Your reflection is backwards. The reflection is the same direct. What? That's so weird. They just flipped it. It's just backwards. That's what's so weird about it. The reflection is not backwards, so it is backwards. Like, reflection should be the opposite of what you're seeing, but these reflections are not. And that's why they look weird. I think their reflection probe is literally, they just needed to invert the camera. This one too, see? They're not inverted, and they just look wrong. No wonder this jump felt so jank. It was jank. Oh, this was not the right decision. The finder of Frankie. That was not the right decision. Should have done better. These doors are kind of stupid.
So yeah, this section, and frankly most of this game, feels like playing Fall Guys by yourself. After one more rolling log puzzle, we reach the final area in the game, Hexa Havoc.
Good luck. The luckiest man alive, so it's not a problem. What just happened?
One last place to go, lucky contestant.
There is one thing that every future mascot horror game should take from Finding Frankie, and that's having a ridiculous dubstep climax theme during the finale.
The fucking Skrillex is amazing.
Think of your favorite mascot horror game. Now, think of it with this song playing during the climax. Yeah, it'd be like 10 times better. Unfortunately, when it first started playing, I got so excited that when I went to turn it up, I accidentally mute the game audio, which is the opposite of turning it up, leading to some of the most awkward live stream footage ever.
Oh, it's a banger. Yeah, you have to jump, like you have to do a coyote jump. Where you like jump after you've already walked onto the air. All right, I don't care about you switches. We're just gonna beat it. What?
Also, after the entire game being in first person, switching to third person for these cutscenes at the end just felt weird. While I was disappointed with it, Finding Frankie isn't bad. It's fine. It's got some cool things going for it, and a lot of the game's individual elements are actually pretty impressive. It's not easy to program a boss fight like this, and it serves its purpose as the game's normal climax, but regardless, I can't recommend that anyone purchase the game at its $15 price tag, or even the discounted $13.50 that it is right now. Games don't exist in isolation, and in a world where Poppy Chapter 1 is free and Chapter 2 is $10, it's hard to justify why Finding Frankie is worth more. If this game was priced at $8, I'd probably be able to recommend it, but as it stands, I don't think the game is worth the money. As a gaming YouTuber who makes money off these videos, it's easy to say that everything is cool and never ruffle any feathers, but I remember being broke and not being able to buy all the games I wanted, and back then I would not have been satisfied with this purchase. It's not a bad game, but it's a bad value. Thanks for watching.